Hey, Rob here for Quadratec, out here at the 2024 SEMA show in Las Vegas, taking a break from the show floor for just a minute. I've got two very special guests with me here. Mike Spagnola, President and CEO of SEMA, and I've got Karen Bailey-Chapman, Senior VP of Public and Government Affairs. And I thought I would take time today to ask them a couple questions about what makes SEMA so important and so special, not only to everybody that's here at the show today, but all the consumers at home and everyone throughout the year. So, Mike, you're no stranger to the automotive aftermarket.
No, for sure. So, we're really known for the SEMA show, of course, right? And it's this week, and it's, 160,000 people, 1.2 million square feet of booth space, over 2,400 manufacturers. You'd see us online, you see SEMA show footage everywhere. But we'd like to talk about what we do the other 361 days a year, right?
Sure.
And while the show is really important to us and our biggest moneymaker that allows us to do other things, there's tons of stuff that we do the other 361 days a year, and really all 365 days a year. And Karen runs our Political Action Network and our DC team, and just does an amazing job with what we do to make sure that we could still have this fun, right? That we can still off-road, that we can still build vehicles, that we can still customize them, that we can still lift them, that we can still lower them, that we can still put aftermarket tires and wheels. All those products. There's 2,400 manufacturers here, all making different products.
Sure.
She makes sure we can still do it.
Yeah, well, that's great. I mean, we have issues that we're battling, right? Like states of California, which is pushing back on banning internal combustion engines.
Crazy.
And we have our home state in Pennsylvania pushing to eliminate aftermarket exhausts on vehicles. So can you speak to a little bit of what SEMA does to not only protect and help us as retailers and manufacturers, but also the consumers that want to buy these products?
So maybe I'll let Karen answer that. But
Sure. Well, I mean, the thing, and that's exactly it, it's protecting the consumers so that they continue to recreate and use our products. And the fact is that, sort of government doesn't sleep. I mean, it doesn't feel that way when you're at the DMV trying to get something renewed, but, unfortunately, it's always kind of a constant battle. And it's all across all 50 states, as well as the federal government, as well as some local governments, coming from the off-road, and those of us that have spent some time out west together, making sure that we're able to tackle those issues. But I think the other part of it, too, is all of the enthusiasts and the consumers, especially those that are part of the SEMA Action Network, have been absolutely critical to the success that we've had in pushing back against these regulations, in addition to our small business members like Quadratec and others that are here today that are really also important, so that people understand that this is American manufacturing, American business, American small business, and this is who this is who gets impacted when it comes to regulations and legislation.
Can you guys speak to what are some of the things that our consumers and things can do out there to help SEMA push rights that we're fighting to retain for us?
yes, there's a couple things. While SEMA is a business-to-business association, so you have to be in the industry as a buyer or as a reseller or as a manufacturer. Going forward, and probably the big picture is, we have a couple programs. We have SEMA Plus, which is the individual membership program, where all your consumers can actually join SEMA as an individual member and be part of us, and get updates on newsletters and things going on. We also have SAN, which is our other group that allows us to reach out to consumers and talk to them when we have political issues. So, for example, we may have an issue in any state, and we can activate those consumers to write letters to, I think one of our recent programs, I think we had 40,000 letters.
Tens of thousands of letters on the California speed limiter bill,
right.
Mandating active speed limiters. Thankfully, the governor of California vetoed the bill, but tens of thousands of letters from our activists. And when it comes to federal stuff, it's even bigger than that, especially on the issue of banning ICE and what the federal government's done and banning the internal combustion engine. We've generated tens of thousands, probably even hitting 6 digits at this point in time, in terms of the communications that have gone into these offices to push back against this stuff.
Of course, we got our Political Action Network, our PAC, and our Super PAC. And so by becoming a SEMA individual member, by joining SEMA Plus, we can then, there's rules around that, but then you can be part of our PAC and donate to our PAC. So, for example, right now we're running ads in 4 critical battleground states with the election, where we are able to run ads to talk about what our stance is on EVs and those sorts of vehicles. But that comes through our PAC and our Super PAC programs.
Where can the consumers go to find out about SEMA? What's the easiest way for them to join with a SEMA Plus individual membership?
So I'd say start first at SEMA Action Network, so SEMASAN.com. But also check out SEMA.org, where you can also explore the individual membership. And if there's
Sure.
any small businesses out there that are looking to get their start and want to join us, you can also find that information there and become a business member as well. We'd love to have you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I have one last question for each of you.
Okay.
So, Mike, I know you've been in aftermarket for quite a while,
Yep.
right?
It's my 46th SEMA show.
That's awesome. What are you working on at home? What do you have in your garage that you like to tinker with and play around with in your spare time?
I collect old Japanese cars.
Okay.
And so I'm currently doing a frame off on a 67 Datsun Roadster Solex model. I'm really lucky that and blessed that my family also enjoys off-roading and the car business and all of that. So, you know, we'll be at King and the Hammers with our side-by-sides. Both my boys are running legend cars, so we're running some of those series. And just about every weekend's either on a dirt bike or an off-road vehicle or in a race car or at a car show. So
That's awesome to have you as an enthusiast.
Yeah, thank you.
Behind all of
yeah,
this.
to tell you the truth, my ego is a little bruised because I like to work on my own cars.
Yeah.
But Karen keeps me so busy now, and the board keeps me so busy that I'm ending up paying people to work on my cars, and it kind of hurts, to be honest. It kind of hurts my
But
ego.
it actually helps drive the economy of the industry.
There you go.
I have no
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah.
I'm happy
It
to
does.
have other people
I
build
just
my
like
stuff.
to say I did it. I like to do it, and I can't do that anymore because, anyway, but I still enjoy driving them.
That's great. And I already know the answer to this
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
because we've spent some time together. You mentioned out west, but
Yeah.
what do you like to drive?
Right now, I'm getting my Jeep Rubicon diesel engine ready for our next trip to Moab. So
3 Jeeps?
four.
4 Jeeps.
Yeah, 4. So, anyways, but that's.
But who's counting?
Who's counting?
Yeah.
And in a sundry of other vehicles. But I also got to do my first on-road racing this year with a performance car that I own. So that's been a lot of fun to take it to some legal road racing on closed tracks, and probably going to do some more exploring in that space with some hill racing throughout Pennsylvania next year. So
Nice.
I'm pretty psyched. But the project right now is to get the diesel Rubicon ready for Moab.
Wow, I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to our next trip out to
Absolutely.
Moab for
We
sure.
always have a great time.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for
Yeah,
taking
thanks.
a couple minutes out of
Yeah,
both of your
awesome.
days
Yeah.
today to
Thanks,
talk with
Rob.
us. I
Pleasure
really
being with you
appreciate
guys.
it. Again, make sure that everyone out there is staying tuned to all of our social media channels. We're going to have plenty of coverage right here from the SEMA show all week long. You can also find plenty of great stuff to check out over at the Torque blog at Quadratec.com. Of course, if you're not subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you're sure to catch all our latest content. For now, I think I've got to hit the show floor.
And thanks, Quadratec, for all you do, for supporting us in everything you do, for being a great SEMA member, for your products, and for obviously being part of our Political Action Network. So
You bet.
we
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it and helping us support to make sure we can still do our off-roading.
Yeah?
Yes.